Welcome to Gas Cylinder Tracker Lesson 5. The title of this lesson is Do You Want to Comply or Be Fined? Dangerous goods training. If you're not familiar with the dangerous goods legislation, you will soon find out it can be quite confusing in some areas. The main thing is you need to make sure yourself and your employees that are directly associated with the storage and shipping of dangerous goods are aware of the local statutory requirements. You do this by attending dangerous goods training courses, which are run by various firms in your area. It's the responsibility of the business as well as the individual to ensure they are properly trained if they are directly involved in the handling or shipment of dangerous goods. Otherwise, you're leaving yourself and your business wide open to being fined. Another point you should be aware of is in some jurisdictions, if an individual is fined, the fine cannot be paid by the company. The individual has to pay the fine. Ooh, ouch, that hurts, doesn't it? And it can be up to 5, 10 grand, depending. So just be aware. You have to take this into consideration. Get your people trained. When you're going into the transport of dangerous goods, there's 3 basic areas that are covered under transport from dangerous goods. There's transport by road, transport by sea, and transport by air. Now each one of these have separate legislation that is applicable to each. Now when it comes to this, it's very possible that depending on your type of business, one or more of these areas of the legislation may apply to you. So you need to be aware of this and have your people trained appropriately. There's also legislation covering the storage of dangerous goods. This I referred to in the previous lesson. It's more to do with the quantities, the separation, the location, and that's just with the gases. Then you've got all your other dangerous goods type spray paints, thinners, acids, corrosive items. All this comes into it. So you have to make sure that you're not storing these things too close. They have to have a separation distances that are required. So if in doubt, hire a consultant that specializes in dangerous goods legislation to assist you and guide you, to ensure you satisfy the requirements and prevent from being fined for not complying with that legislation. It's vitally important you do. As we say, if in doubt, hire the consultant. That's what they're there for. Transporting dangerous goods on your own vehicles. Well, normally, depending on your location, it may be the supplier has a regular delivery service to and from. If not, you have to transport your own. Now, if you're transporting dangerous goods on your own vehicles, there's several things that you need to be aware of and comply with. 1, your vehicles have to be fitted with safety equipment, and in the legislation it's laid down what these items are, such as a flame-proof torch, gloves, all sorts of bits and pieces. So go to the legislation, check it out if that's applicable to you. Dangerous goods manual. There has to be a manual, specific manual, carried in that vehicle at all times. Dangerous goods placards have to be on the front and rear of the vehicle. Now they're only to be displayed when you're actually carrying dangerous goods. If you're not carrying dangerous goods and have certain hazardous placards showing, you can be fined for that as well. So once again, when you offload your gas or whatever and you're no longer carrying dangerous goods, ensure that you turn the placards around or remove them so that they are not being displayed without actually carrying dangerous goods. transport manifest. Now this is one that is probably the most overlooked item in gas cylinders, full stop. It's a requirement that there's a transport manifest listing all the cylinders that are being transported on your vehicle or as a shipment from your company back to the supplier. Now, most people don't bother with this, but this is the one area that people can be fined. The individual consigning it, requirements, if the requirements aren't met, the company can be fined. The consignee, in other words, the person who shipped the consignment, can be fined, and the driver can be fined. So the last thing we want is being fined for something as simple as not having a transport manifest, right? So this is one thing that you definitely need to take into consideration. You can get them printed up. I haven't found a template other than I made my own, but you can virtually pull the information you need off of your monthly rental invoice. That's got all the information virtually you need on there. So, and if in doubt, ask your supplier. They can help you. So that's the main thing you need to worry about when you're dealing with dangerous goods, is ensure that all these different safety requirements are met. You've got a transport manifest there. Your people are trained, and from that, when you're constructing your compound, ensure that you've got your separation and all the bits and pieces that go with it. So that concludes lesson 5, I think it is, and we will continue on with the next one.